Hey everybody, Liam McHugh here. Sunday Night Football is going to be in New England. We've got the Ravens and the Patriots, and I've got Ravens tight end Mark Andrews. Always easy to get pumped up for a Ravens-Pats game, but Mark, as an offensive player, does going against a Bill Belichick-led defense get the juices flowing?
What's going on, Liam? Yeah, it's exciting. I think anytime you go against the Patriots and, obviously Bill Belichick, it's a big task at hand. This is going to be an incredibly well-coached team. And so we got to be on our P's and Q's and know our stuff and be ready to fly around. It's going to be a dogfight for 60 minutes. And we know that, we've played them before, and it's going to be a good test for us.
Belichick always seems to know what the opposition is going to do before they do it, which is interesting because Lamar Jackson had said that recently teams, he thinks they're starting to call out plays before it happens, although it looks like an adjustment was made in the second half against the Colts because you guys were on it. Is that something that you're seeing out there where maybe an adjustment needed to be made?
I think we came out the second half and did a great job of, kind of changing up the tempo of things. And Coach Roman did a, outstanding job of, switching it up. And, I think that was a big spark for our team and getting points and stuff like that. So I don't really notice, too much of that other stuff. I'm just going out there, doing my job, trying to play as fast as I can, trying to get open for Lamar and make some blocks. That's, my job. And, I'm trying to do that to my best ability.
Well, you made an incredible block in the second half last week against the Colts. Are you a blocking tight end now? Is that the new rep?
I would like to say I'm a complete tight end. I know my bread and butter is, I'm extremely gifted receiver. I'm very good at that. And, I'm trying to, take next steps in becoming a dominant blocker in all phases. So I'm not quite there yet, but I've made some big steps.
I go back to the start of the season. You're addressing the media, and you said you think Lamar is the best football player in the world. For those out there who say that the NFL and defenses are catching up with Lamar, what do you say?
They have no idea, man. They have no idea what that guy's capable of. I've seen it, time in and time out. He's just ridiculous. When he wants to turn it on, he can turn it on. And it's just a pleasure to be able to play with a guy like that. He's so good at what he does. He makes it so hard for defenses to game plan for. I don't see anyone else better than him. I've played with a lot of great players. Just his desire to win. He hates to lose, and he's got a big picture in mind, and that's winning a Super Bowl. And it's been so refreshing to be able to play with him.
It's pretty easy to get fired up for a Pats-Ravens game, but I go back to last season in Baltimore. Pats roll into that game undefeated. You guys beat them soundly. You put up 37 points in the process. What did that game do for your team going forward?
That was a big one for us. And I remember at the time it was, it's one of those games that we had circled up, on the calendar. And obviously, Patriots Ravens is, there's definitely some history there. So everyone was fired up, ready to go, and obviously being able to win that game, and they were playing well. And so just being able to spark that and win the rest of the games throughout the year, it was big for us. And, I think that was one of the key games for us that really kind of gave us some momentum.
You went to Oklahoma. You understand rivalries. Obviously, you have Red River, Oklahoma and Texas, but it's not the only rivalry. Obviously, there's Bedlam as well, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State. When you're a Raven, it's Ravens-Steelers. Does Ravens-Pats feel like an intense rivalry to you?
Yeah, it does. I think there's obviously there's definitely history behind the game and everything going on. So there is definitely a different level of intensity, that you need to bring in games like this. Obviously you look at Steelers and Ravens, that's an incredibly intense game. It's a dogfight. That's the only way to describe it. And, that's what this game is going to be, two teams fighting it out. And the most physical team's going to win.
This has been a season in the NFL that's all about adapting every single week. You guys had an extremely interesting week last week. Marlon Humphrey tested positive for COVID-19, so he missed the Colts game, but he also had several other players because of contact tracing. They had to miss practice along the way. What was last week like in the facility and practicing and just getting ready?
Yeah, it was different. I think the big thing with practice is wearing those face shields kind of over your mouth. They have these, like mouth shields or whatever they are. Just makes it a little bit harder to breathe. But everything was just super, making sure you're on the details of obviously we're all wearing our mask and doing all that. But, keeping your distance 6 feet away at all times. The protocols were just, making sure that, we were all staying safe and staying smart. And the Ravens do a top-notch, they're a top-notch organization, and they did a great job of, protecting us and making sure all the things that were in place, we're good to go.
I feel like with dealing with COVID, a lot of it comes down to obviously following the protocols, but part of it's just commitment. What'd you learn about your team last week?
It's look at the guys that didn't practice, and they were on Zoom meetings and didn't get to come in the facility. Just the ability to lock in and kind of have a bigger picture in mind that you're about to play in a game, even though you're not at the facility. So being able to see those guys, play the way they did and not practice and get the win, I think it was really good for our team. Obviously. Wasn't our best game by any means, but there's positives to it. We didn't have a full team of week of practice. What I'm saying? So just being able to lock in was good for us.
You're still dealing with injuries, but it looks like Mark Ingram returns to practice. What does he bring to this offense, not only as a player, but as a teammate and as a leader?
He's so special. He's such a special teammate. It's really kind of hard to put, how much he means to this team, and this offense, he's an aggressive runner. He's, a premier back, obviously, but the energy that he brings, on the sidelines, in the huddle, every play, every second, it's all energy, it's all juice. And you look for guys like that, he picks you up, he makes you happy, and he makes you ready to go, man. I'll run through a wall for that guy for sure.
All right, I'm going to finish up with 3 non-Sunday night football-related questions. You're from Arizona. You played college ball in Oklahoma. Last year, before that Pats game, we ran this amazing open, and it was all about The Wire and about Baltimore and about your team. Have you seen The Wire?
I've seen a couple episodes with Orlando Brown. He's watched that show like 50 times. So I've seen a little bit of it, but I think I need to watch it from start to beginning because, being here, there's kind of some good stuff in it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people are dropping references that you're going to have to know along the way. It's probably not an in-season watch.
Yeah, I need to lock in and really kind of get ready for that one.
All right, we talked a lot about Lamar, but you were at Oklahoma when Kyler Murray was there. But, of course, Baker Mayfield was your starting quarterback. Kyler had transferred and then really only played a little bit in your last season there. Did you see this coming in Kyler Murray?
Well, I think you can kind of go back with Kyler and look at, his early stages of, being an athlete and being in high school. He's, one of the best, high school athletes of all time, doing what he did in football and not losing a game and big time Texas football, and being the baseball player that he is. Obviously he's an incredibly gifted athlete. He's an incredible player. I'm so excited to see what he's been doing in Arizona. That state needs a guy like that to lead them and do that sort of thing. So it's been great. I'm happy for him, and I'm not surprised at all. He's a dog by his own right, and it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, we had him a few weeks ago going head-to-head on Sunday Night Football. Russell Wilson, they win that game in overtime. He was spectacular in that game. Big news this week, obviously, was the passing of Alex Trebek. And I'm just wondering, is there one person on the Ravens or maybe one person in the NFL who you think would be a good next host of Jeopardy?
Dang. That's a tough question. I think Orlando Brown could do it for sure. Yeah.
What about Orlando? Makes him right.
He's just got a good personality, man. I think people, watching it would, I know people that get around him kind of gravitate towards him just because of how happy he is, what type of person he is. And just a fun guy. Energy is on point.
All right. Well, the odds are out there. I saw that Al Michaels is on the list. Now we got to get Orlando Brown up there. We got to get some odds going for him as well. Mark, thanks so much. Really appreciate the time, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.